As I've grown my business over the past 10 years to be consistently landing deals with globally recognised brands and broadcasters, I get a lot of people asking me how to find good leads. People put a lot of value on leads because they're the fuel for your business. So whether you're a small startup or a multinational company, without leads you're not going anywhere. In this video, I'm going to give you a brief introduction to what leads are and my top 3 strategies for finding them. So what is a lead? Well, a lead is a person who's expressed an interest in your product or service. If you look at the sales process like a funnel with a purchase at the bottom, then a lead is at the very top or at the beginning of the process. No business converts every single lead into a paying customer, and you'll have many more leads going in at the top than purchases coming out the bottom. The number of leads per purchase you require, or how effective this process is within your business, is called your conversion rate. Now let's dive into my top 3 strategies that you can use for generating leads that have proven to get results. The first is what I call intelligent calls and emails. The biggest problem with cold sales is that there are only so many generic things that you can say and tactics and tricks that you can employ, and they've all been done before. This usually means that these tactics usually set alarm bells ringing and the prospect will shut you down immediately. So intelligent calling, we don't try to push the prospect into doing anything, instead we focus on 2 principles. The first is using research to find common ground and talking points to build a relationship. When you look through your inbox, how many of these people have actually bothered to do any research on who you are or what you do? Here are 2 examples. In the first, the company has clearly sent the same email to thousands or even tens of thousands of people and has done nothing to connect with the reader personally. In the second example, the person has clearly taken a little time to research who they're contacting and build a more personal connection. Big companies have the resources and manpower to do campaigns on a massive scale, pouring in vast numbers at the top of their funnels to get results. As small businesses, we need to flip that logic on its head. As Tony Robbins says, it's not resources, but ultimately resourcefulness that makes the difference. With this in mind, we need to be incredibly selective about who we pick to contact. So the second principle is to make sure that what you have to offer is genuinely good for the prospect. In practice, this means understanding their business needs and challenges. This way, you know that the prospect already has a lot to gain from working with you. It's not your job to push them into making a decision. In the words of Blair Enns in the Win Without Pitching manifesto, our goal is to inspire the prospect to form the intent to solve his problem. It is not to inspire him to hire us. In other words, you simply need to give them all the information they need to make a decision on what's best for them, while positioning yourself as the perfect solution. My second strategy for you today is to use Instagram for generating leads. Some people see Instagram as just another social media gimmick. In fact, more than 1 billion people use Instagram every month, and more than 500 million of them use it every day. It has the highest engagement of any social platform, and it's increasing its video usage 80% year on year. That means it has the potential to be a powerful sales tool, especially for anyone using video, because that's what its algorithms love most. The aspect of Instagram I find most useful is that your bio and portfolio can always be just one click away. With other social platforms, it can be hard to showcase your work, but as creatives, those 6 or more panels that appear when someone clicks on your profile are an instant attention grabber. Another benefit is there's also less friction than with email to get people to see your profile, because it's second nature to click someone's username when they want to find out more. There's also a good chance they'll follow you up if they like what they see, and then they'll receive future updates with whatever you post next. So how do you use Instagram effectively? Well, DMs or direct messages give you the ability to contact anyone with a profile, which is great when compared to other platforms. First though, you must filter your leads so you're targeting a specific audience. This can be done very effectively using hashtags. So for example, you can use one of the many popular hashtag finding tools to see what's most relevant in your sector. If you specialize in events, then you might start by exploring hashtag event planner. For manufacturing companies, you can explore hashtag manufacturing. Once you find a prospect's post, you can see what other hashtags they're using and then continue down the rabbit hole. As with any sales tool, you must expect to play the numbers game and don't get disheartened if people don't reply straight away. You need to contact a good sample of people before you have enough information to decide exactly how you're going to adapt and improve your strategy. I recommend 100 DMs as a good place to start. That might sound like a lot, but if you break it down and do 20 a day, then at the end of each week you can review your strategy, adapt and improve. Also worth noting about Instagram is that 71% of their users are under 35, so if that fits your target demographic then great. But if not, you might also want to consider other platforms that attract an older audience. This brings me to my third strategy, which is to use LinkedIn for lead generation. LinkedIn is different to Instagram, both in terms of how you go about using it and the types of people that you can find. It has just over half the number of users as Instagram at 600 million, but 61% of those are aged between 30 and 64. Importantly, 75% of LinkedIn users take home more than $50,000 a year, and 11 of 87 million millennials on there are in decision-making positions. So depending on your demographic then, LinkedIn can either be a great complement to Instagram or a complete alternative. To make the most of LinkedIn, you'll want to use their paid subscription, but as I found out, it pays for itself very quickly as long as you follow these 3 steps. The first is to make sure that your profile is really filled out with relevant and up-to-date information. If someone is interested in your product or service, there's a good chance they'll check out your profile. This is an opportunity to impress people with a much lengthier bio than Instagram and more formal collection of achievements and experiences. There's also skills, endorsements, and a recommendations section. The more people that recommend you, the better, so it's worth using the tool they have to request these from other people. These testimonials reassure prospects that you provide a good product or service. The second step is to take advantage of how specific you can be, filtering your target audience with advanced search functions. This is where the real magic of LinkedIn happens. You can filter by location, current company, past company, industry, company size, non-profile interests, income, and so on. Once you nail down exactly who your customers are, then LinkedIn can help you open up a Pandora's box of leads. The third step is to use a multi-touch approach. While most people make the mistake of jumping straight to their sales pitch in the first message, LinkedIn encourages a more human connection. Having found your prospects, you want to start by sending a connect request with a personal message. This shows that you're human with a genuine interest. Once connected, I then suggest a series of subsequent messages to build rapport, find out more about their business needs, and then present yourself as the solution. This has by far been the most powerful and effective way of finding leads that convert into paying customers. So there you have my top 3 tips for generating leads. Don't get overwhelmed by trying to do all of them at once. In fact, it's best to pick one that's most appealing to you and then get comfortable with using that first. When measuring results and deciding what works best, make sure you get a good sample to work from, so that means don't give up after just sending a few introductions. Think in terms of hundreds instead of tens. Planning ahead will make all of this easier, so if 100 companies sounds overwhelming, then break it down and start with just 20 per day. Adapt and improve after each week once the results are in. So to recap, in this video we covered my top 3 strategies for finding leads, including intelligent calls and emails, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Whichever platform you choose, it's important that you get the messaging right when speaking to prospects. This is one of the many things I go into much more detail on in my course Video Business Mastery, as well as my free training that I'll link in the description below. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions or comments, then please email me at jackson@5dayfilm.com, and I'll see you in the next video.